For years, Meta was one of the most desired companies in tech. Getting a job there meant you had made it. The pay was huge, the perks were unmatched, and the products you worked on reached billions of people. But today that image doesn't feel the same. Because even though Meta is making more money than ever, inside the company, things feel different. And now people are asking a serious question. What exactly is going on at Meta right now? If you made it this far, you already know this channel is for you. Hit subscribe so you never miss a story. Mark Zuckerberg made a massive call. He pushed Meta deep into the metaverse, a vision of a fully immersive digital world where people could work, play, and socialize through VR and AR. The company poured tens of billions into reality labs to build that future. At the time, it felt like the next big platform shift. But while Meta was focused on that vision, the rest of the tech world suddenly moved in a different direction. Late 2022, ChatGPT drops, and everything flips overnight. AI becomes the new battlefield. OpenAI moves first, then Google, and everyone else races to catch up. Meta is forced to react, and when it does, the impact inside the company is immediate. Thousands of employees were laid off, and many of those who stayed were moved into completely different roles focused on AI. Engineers who had spent years building Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp suddenly found themselves working on projects that felt completely unrelated to what they were hired for. In most big tech companies, engineers usually have some freedom to switch teams or explore different areas. But this time, many employees say it didn't feel like they had much choice. Reports suggest around 6,500 engineers and product managers were shifted into Meta's new applied AI division. Some even described it as being drafted into the team, like the decision was made for them rather than with them. A lot of employees expected something different. They thought they would be building new AI products or working on fresh technologies. Instead, many found themselves spending time writing coding exercises, training tasks, and technical puzzles designed to help improve Meta's AI systems. Nothing about that work was wrong. The issue was how it felt. Because for most engineers, the real motivation is simple. Build something real, ship it, watch billions of people use it. That's the reward. But this shift, it felt like stepping away from that completely. And slowly, that feeling started to build. During one internal live stream, watched by thousands of employees, someone suddenly interrupted with a frustrated message aimed directly at AI leadership. The stream froze for a moment, awkward silence. Then the presenters tried to continue like nothing happened, but everyone had already seen it. And just like that, the clip started spreading everywhere inside the company. Then things got even worse. Meta rolled out an internal program that tracked employee activity like clicks and keystrokes, all in the name of improving its AI systems. And inside the company, that immediately sparked backlash. More than 1,600 employees reportedly signed a petition against it. The pressure grew so strong that Meta eventually scaled it back and made it optional instead of mandatory. But by that point, the damage to trust was already done. If the company is learning from everything you do today, what happens tomorrow? Nobody wants to feel like they're helping build a system that could eventually replace part of their own job. Whether that was Meta's intention or not, the concern was understandable. As all of this was happening, another problem was quietly getting worse. The layoffs had already left many teams with fewer people, but the amount of work hadn't changed. Projects still had deadlines, products still needed updates, and whatever work had been done by former employees now had to be shared among the people who remained. That kind of pressure builds up quickly. Longer hours, constant reorganizations, and uncertainty about the future can wear down even the most motivated teams. What's remarkable is that Meta isn't slowing down. If anything, it's doing the opposite. The company continues to spend enormous amounts of money on artificial intelligence because leadership believes winning the AI race is worth the disruption happening inside the company. Whether that decision pays off is something only time will answer. Meta's leadership knew there was a problem. During an internal meeting, Chief Product Officer Chris Cox admitted the last few months had been tough. He also tried to reassure employees that AI wasn't a magical technology that would instantly solve every problem or replace every human job. But words can only do so much. If you've just watched colleagues lose their jobs, been shifted into roles you never planned for, and you're already carrying more pressure than ever, another motivational speech doesn't really change how the next workday feels. Still, management tried something new. Meta announced a company-wide AI hackathon. Quick pause here, because what happens next might sound small, but stick with me, it says a lot about what was really going on inside Meta. And if you're the type who wants the real story behind the headlines, not just the surface version, make sure you're subscribed because it only gets more revealing from here. Normally, this is the kind of thing engineers actually enjoy. A fast-paced event where people build, experiment, try new ideas, and sometimes even create something that turns into a real product later. But this time, the reaction was very different. The timing just didn't work. Teams were already overloaded after layoffs. Fewer people were doing the same amount of work, sometimes even more. Deadlines stayed the same, expectations didn't drop. So asking employees to spend extra time on side projects didn't feel exciting. It felt like more work, and instead of hype, internal forums filled with sarcasm, jokes, and criticism. A lot of employees started asking the same question. When normal work is already overwhelming, where exactly is the time for extra projects? Others pointed out something even bigger. Free food, prizes, company events. They don't fix burnout, they don't fix uncertainty, and they definitely don't rebuild trust. Because that's what was actually missing, trust. And once trust starts breaking inside a company, it's not something you can fix with events or announcements. It takes time, a lot of it. Even inside Meta, some leaders started to accept that reality. CTO Andrew Bosworth later admitted the AI reorganization had been handled badly. He called the communication atrocious and promised better clarity and better support going forward. That kind of honesty from top leadership is rare in big tech. But here's the thing, admitting mistakes is only the beginning. The real challenge is rebuilding confidence inside thousands of employees who are still living through the change every single day. Before we get to how this actually ends for Meta, think about that for a second. These aren't just headlines. These are real people who gave years of their lives building products you use every single day. And now many of them don't even recognize the company they joined. That's the part that doesn't show up in the earnings reports. If you want to see more videos breaking down what's really happening behind the scenes at companies like this, make sure you're subscribed. Because what happens next says a lot about where the entire tech industry is headed. And that's where Meta finds itself right now. On paper, the company is still doing extremely well. It's making billions from advertising. Its apps are used by billions of people every month. And it's spending massive amounts of money on AI because it believes that's the future. But strong numbers don't always match what people feel inside. Meta can report record profits while employees feel tired, uncertain, and disconnected from their work. Both realities exist at the same time. And now the bigger question starts to show up. Can Meta keep its best people? Years ago, engineers competed to join the company. It meant big challenges, strong teams, and career growth. But now, many employees are asking different questions. Do they still control the work they do? Will everything change again next year? Is this still the company they signed up for? Those doubts matter, because high salaries can attract talent, but they don't always keep it. And there's another layer to this. Technology doesn't move forward just because companies spend billions on chips, servers, and infrastructure. Real progress comes from people. If engineers lose motivation or stop believing in the direction, innovation slows down. We've seen this before. Some of the biggest companies didn't fall behind because they ran out of money. They fell behind because they became slow, disconnected, or too focused on themselves. That doesn't automatically mean Meta is heading there. It still has top talent, huge resources, and products used by billions every day. It can recover, the AI push might work, leadership might adjust, but the warning signs are hard to ignore. When employees openly question leadership, when executives admit communication has broken down, and when internal issues start leaking outside, it usually means something deeper is going on. And that brings us to today. Meta is still one of the biggest companies in the world, still making massive money, still pushing hard into AI, but inside the company, things clearly don't feel as stable as they look from the outside. So here's the real question. Is this just a rough transition phase for Meta or something bigger happening under the surface? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, share it with someone who follows tech news, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. See you in the next one.